Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. Today I'm going to be talking about, this is a really big subject, but it goes into self-love as well, and stop wanting everyone to like you. Um, Now, and I relate to this message because I used to be one of those people, and I think a lot of us did, and this message may hit home. But a lot of us, we care what other people think, and we want everyone to like us, everyone. Um, there was a good man. There's a few people I was listening to on YouTube about this subject, and one of them inspired me to talk about this. And he talked about when he started his YouTube career, he was doing it for the wrong reasons, in the sense he was doing it to get attention. He was doing it and he wanted all his followers, or he wanted everyone to like him. But if you've got, let's say, 10,000 followers, 15,000, that's a good number to have. But unfortunately, when you put yourself out there, there'll be people that watch you because they want to watch you, they enjoy you, and you've got the right sort of people. But on the other hand, there'll always be trolls in life, and be you on Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, there'll be people that join your channel for the wrong reasons, and they might criticise you or try and bring you down to make themselves feel better. And when you don't love yourself, you really value the opinion of others, and it really gets to you. A good affirmation that helps with this is, I know who I am, the universe knows who I am, and I don't need to justify myself to anyone. So when you love yourself, it's a journey, it's something you work on each and every day. And I'd say, like, self-love, you could look at it in a scale 1 to 10. Like, some days you feel like a 10, you really love yourself, you feel really good about yourself. Other days you may feel like a 5, a 6, a 4. So you may be high in the spectrum or low in the spectrum. But self-love isn't easy, but it's rewarding, and it's something to work on. But when you love yourself, you know who you are, you know what makes you you, you know what your strengths are. You're also humble because you know what your flaws and weaknesses are, and you still love yourself regardless. Because you know your loved ones have flaws and weaknesses, and they drive you up the wall sometimes, but you still love them and always will, despite they drive you up the wall for their flaws and weaknesses. And be that way with yourself. And when it comes to, when I was much younger, I had a lot of different interests. I went through a lot of different phases. I'd be interested in one subject, I'd learn a good bit about it, then I'd lose interest and move on to something else. And witchcraft, what got me interested in it was like TV shows like Charmed, Harry Potter, things like that. I was really interested in magic, the occult, and TV shows got me started. But then I decided to read books on this subject, listen to other practitioners, and as I discovered witchcraft, this opened the door to many other spiritual paths, religions, and through discovering spirituality and esoteric subjects, I discovered self-love. And my art teacher was a great role model for me, and really inspired me, really encouraged me. And spirituality helped me find my voice, because I used to think very negative about myself, about life, and I really valued the opinions of others and wanted everyone to like me. And I used to be in a group of friends. They weren't necessarily bad friends, but I didn't feel I could be myself around them, and I really valued their opinion and didn't want to, upset them or step out of line type of thing. But, and then at school I did find two really good friends who did understand me and a good connection with them. Whereas those people were not my sort of people. They weren't bad people, they just, we didn't have a lot in common. Because they were like interested in video games, sport and things. We had an interest in history, some of us, but not all of my friends were interested in that. But they weren't my crowd, and we want everyone to be our crowd, and we want everyone to fit in with us, but life doesn't work that way. Another thing that's hard, it's a hard human emotion to experience, is rejection. Sometimes we might have a love interest, and we might want that person to feel the way we feel about them, but they don't for a few reasons. Maybe they've broke up with their partner, they've been broke up with, and they're not ready for a new relationship yet. Or they reject us because maybe you're not the type of person they're looking for in a relationship. So that's not a reflection on you, that's again a reflection on that person. Doesn't make that person a bad person, just, you'll find the right person for you in the end. And so many people, when you try and make people like you, you're like a jigsaw piece. A lot of times you could look at a jigsaw in life, and a lot of us were in that jigsaw situation where we're trying to make someone fit with us, or people fit with us, but don't. Because if you do jigsaws, you see all these different pieces, and I love doing jigsaws, and sometimes two pieces, they look as if they fit, and you try and make them fit, but they don't fit, and then you find the two pieces again, and you go, oh, maybe they do fit, and you try, but then sooner or later you realise they don't fit, and they never will fit. Just like if you do adding, 4 add 4 is 8 and always will be 8, or 2 add 2 is 4 and always will be 4. No matter what you do, it's all, always will be the same. And that's the same in life, not everyone's going to like you, you're not going to like everyone. Also politicians, for example, or famous politicians, things like that, you can also, and celebrities, you can take inspiration from them as well. For example, we'll talk about a really controversial one right now, and that's Donald Trump. Like, I don't like Donald Trump, and a lot of people don't like Donald Trump, but a lot of people do like him and support him. But regardless if you like him or not, he is successful. He's very rich, very wealthy, and a very successful politician. When it comes to Obama, I like Obama, a lot of people like him, and there's a lot of people that don't like him, but nevertheless he's still successful and prosperous. And a lot of celebrities are in the same way. But to get successful in life, you really have to grow a thick skin. You have to understand that not everyone's going to like you, and be okay with that. And you've got to stop caring what other people think about you. Now, a few books I've read, they're fictional books, but they've got a good message. They've got a lot of good messages. One of them is Heartstoppers. So Heartstoppers is a 5-book series. So there's 5 books. There's meant to be a 6th book coming out, and if it does, I'll be buying it and I'll talk to you about it. So I love Heartstoppers because it's a story about Nick and Charlie. These two boys fell in love. So Nick, for example, he's got a group of rugby friends, but he doesn't really act himself around these rugby friends. He's very quiet and keeps himself to himself and just blends in. That's what he does. And he might think he's straight, or he's not really sure about his sexuality. But Charlie helps him discover his sexuality, and he's bisexual. And Charlie's got a crush on Nick Nelson. He's got a crush on him, and he thinks Charlie thinks that Nick's straight, but he discovers over time that Nick is bisexual, and the two of them start out as friends. They become good lovers. But Charlie's an individual in that story who's got a lot of mental health issues, and he came out to two of his best friends. They supported him, but then they were talking about Charlie and his sexuality, and these two friends got overheard, and it was passed all around social media and that, and Charlie got bullied for that, and it caused him a lot of trauma and mental health issues because of that. And he's still struggling with his mental health, and you can see that throughout the books, but Nick helps him through it. But you can see that not everyone likes Charlie, but despite that, he's still got his friends, so you'll always find your tribe in life, the right people for you. A good book, there's a lot of books, I've not read all of them, but I've watched all the movies, and that's Harry Potter. And with Harry Potter, you can see that Harry Potter's someone with a lot of trauma in his life, a lot of hardships, because he lost his biological mother and father. He has to deal with that. Then he gets raised with the Dursleys, and they give him a really hard time, and a lot of rejection, and don't treat him with love, respect and understanding. and then when he goes to school, there's some people there, like one person that tries to be his friend, but like we see that with Draco Malfoy, who tries to be Harry Potter's friend, but he's not want to be Harry Potter's friend for the right reasons. And it's a good job Harry Potter rejects him. And you know, there's some people who don't like Harry Potter, you know, in that school, but there's a lot of people that do like him, and that's how life goes. You know, you find your tribe, but not everyone will like you, and you've got to be okay with that. Another good book, I watched the TV series first, and I've got all the books, and I'm reading them individually. And that was The Worst Witch. And The Worst Witch, her name in the book and the film is Mildred Hubble, and eventually she discovers she's got magical abilities, properties, and she starts seeing things, and then one of her good friends, a woman bumps into her flat, and she meets her, and she becomes good friends with her, and then she introduces her to Cackle's Academy, and they don't take students from non-magical families, but the head teacher is a really kind, nice woman and takes a chance on Mildred Hubble. But later on in the story, Mildred Hubble discovers she is from a witching family. But the teacher, Miss Harbrunges, makes those feelings that you're not one of us and all that type of jazz. She sort of enforces those beliefs in films, sort of forces those beliefs throughout the TV series. She changes it for the better later on, but you can see that. And one of the students that gives her a really hard time is Ethel Hallow. Plays a lot of tricks on her, makes her feel even worse, and bullies her throughout it. Because again, there's a lot of people that like Mildred Hubble, but again, there's people that don't. And that's just life, you know, there's people you won't like and there's people who won't like you. But the self-love teaches you to be your authentic self. A good acronym, you know, it teaches you that, to know yourself, and to stop pleasing people, stop being a people pleaser. I learned that a long time ago, to stop being a people pleaser. And what really helped me is to stop caring what other people think, because in life, not everyone's going to like you, and you've got to be okay with that. Not everyone's going to agree with you. Even though if you talk a lot of sense, you've got a lot of truth in what you're saying, not everyone's going to agree with you, and not everyone's going to like you in life, and you've got to be okay with that. Just like coffee's a beverage, not everyone likes coffee, but if coffee was a person, it would want everyone to like it, because we all do. But you've got to be okay with that. And in life, there's 3 types of people you'll attract. You'll attract genuine good friends, but I feel a lot of people find those people later on in life, really good genuine friends. There'll be people in life that claim to be your friends, and as Francis calls them, the cloak and dagger. And I love that, and I think of people with like a white cloak, acting all good, nice, and that, but behind their back they've got a belt, just like I've got a belt, and there's a knife, and they're just waiting to stab you in the back. There's people like that in life. They either might physical or metaphoric. More often than not, when we say cloak and dagger, it's someone stabbing you in the back, metaphorically speaking, and pretend to be your friend or pretend to be something they're not. And that's something we all go through, having people we think are our friends, or we all get betrayed, and we all experience betrayal at some time in our life. And then the third type of people is there's people that don't like you, they never will like you, and don't want to be in your circle, and they've got no real good reason why they don't like you, but they might be envious of you, jealous of you, and they just don't like you. But people like that, the backstabbers, and people who just don't like you, that's fine with me. You know where the door is. And that's what you've got to learn. Might sound harsh, that, but sometimes to love yourself, you've got to be harsh with negative people, because negative people, and people, I call them psychic vampires or leeches. These people might have narcissistic disorder. Because of that, this is why they act the way they do. Doesn't justify their behaviour, but that's why they act the way they do, because of that. And it's a hard lesson to learn. The two hardest lessons in life to learn is one, but you should not care what other people think, and two is, but not everyone's going to like you. It's a really important lesson to learn, and I had to learn it the hard way, and a lot of us do. And the same with we all want to get along with everyone. We all want to get liked, but we don't. And just like these characters in the book, they would like everyone to be nice to them, support them, and be a good friend to they would be really good friends to everyone, and they'd like everyone to be good friends to them. But that's not, you might be the good person in the story, but those people might not be the good people for you. And they don't like you, and why try and make someone like you but they don't? And some people, like the man I was listening to, some of his followers were following him for the wrong reasons as well. He would change the way he would act, the way he'd speak, the way he would dress to please his viewers, but if they're not happy with the way you dress or the way you look, they'll pick something else up, because we're not perfect as human beings. We're inherently flawed, and there's beauty in imperfection. We're all inherently flawed, and we're good as human beings at pointing out the negative, but it's very hard for us to see the positive. But to me, I choose to reject the negative. I acknowledge the darkness, I see the wisdom in it, but I reject the darkness, and I choose to see the light. For in every dark situation, there's always light. And Hecate reminds you of that as well, because Hecate, being a dark goddess, she's associated with night, with night time. But even at night, there's street lights lit, people light up the streets, and Hecate shows her torch, so she gives the light, and Hecate's flame, her torch is the torch but will never go out, and that torch is there but lights the way to those who are lost. To those who are in the darkness, Hecate is a goddess of the dark. She shows you your fears, your worries, your insecurities, and she shows her torch to you, and she guides the light and guides you to the right path where you need to be. That's what Hecate does, and there's always light, and Hecate reminds you that I may be of the dark, but I am also of the light, and I will guide you, my child, into the light. And I'll talk about what Goddess Hecate, to those of us who work with her, some people she's a teacher, some people she's a friend, some people she's and for a lot of us, Hecate is our mother, in the sense she's loving, understanding and nourishing like a mother, and I'll talk about that in later videos. But a message in life is there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing good or bad lasts forever, and you've got to learn that. You've got to live a thick skin, because you're not going to be successful in life. You're not going to go anywhere if you don't learn not to care what other people think of you. And I've done a video about that, why you shouldn't care what other people think. And I've done this video about that, but you shouldn't try and get everyone to like you, because at the end of the day, I know there's people that are going to love and respect me and are going to adore me in a positive way. And I know the universe is going to send the right people into my life that respect me and understand me and want the highest good for me. But I also know there's people that are going to not like me or don't want anything to do with me, and I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. Don't want to know me, don't want to like me, that's fine. Live your life and have a good time, and you know where the door is, because it's important to not be a people pleaser. And when you don't love yourself, you will try and please everyone, and it causes you so much suffering. But I'm not going to change for anyone. I know who I am, and the universe knows who I am, and I don't need to justify myself to anyone. And you're the same. Your angels, your guides, they know who you are, and you should know who you are. And once you know who you are, you don't need to justify yourself to anyone. And as always, I'm grateful to all of you who do support me, and I'm grateful to all of you who watch these channels, because the videos are meant to create inspiring and messages. And some people, when they start their YouTube career, with the intention of getting famous or people liking them, and they want everyone to like them. That was not my intention. My intention was, because I had so much knowledge about witchcraft and all that, and spiritual things, I wanted to share that knowledge with the world, because there's so many misconceptions about witchcraft, and it's my hope with these videos. There's a lot of misconceptions about the occult, about spirituality, and it was my hope by making these videos to shed light on those misconceptions. And also, a lot of people don't know how to love themselves. I didn't know how, and they don't understand the importance of self-love. So it's my goal by making these videos to do that, to inspire people, to give inspiration, to share some knowledge and facts as well. So I did start with the right reasons, and I'm grateful to all of you who are rooting for me and all of you who support me here, and I wish you many blessings. May meet, may part, meet again. And the message is the most important thing with any video, and the message is love yourself, be who you are, don't change for anyone, and whoever you are, you're an amazing person just the way you are. And if you're going to change yourself, change because you need to change, not for anyone else. And again, and don't try and please everyone. May meet, may part, meet again. Have a great day or night whenever you're seeing this video. Blessed be.